Someone told me this one time. They just said, "Hey, you can't treat your wife or your kids like you did when you were treated in boot camp. You can't do it.
Yeah.
It's completely separate. You got to kind of take a step back and realize that they aren't your troops."
Veterans Battalion.
What's up, everybody? It's Veterans Battalion, episode 5 here. We are ready, motivated.
Motivator.
Guys, real quick, I just want to reiterate on our mission. Remember, Veterans Battalion it's a mission to create a community for veterans to maintain a successful life after service. This includes learning about your VA benefits, nonprofits out there that are there to help you, business directory, but most importantly, to give you that kick in the ass that you need to get you up at night and keep you fucking going.
Rise and shine.
Again, with me on the war room today, I got Colt and Adam, Masters at Arm.
What's up, guys?
Semper
What's
Fi.
going on?
Roland is currently missing, MIA, AWOL. We got to send the MPs after him. Colt, where can they find us for more information?
What's up, guys? Hey, so you can find us on Instagram. Veterans Battalion is the name, so just type in Instagram, Veterans Battalion. And for Facebook, same thing, just Veterans Space Battalion. You should be able to find us locally on there. We're going to start going live a little bit more, I think, here in the next couple of weeks. We kind of took a little break from it because of the whole podcast that we're doing. And we're just kind of trying to see where we fit.
Dude, but your lives are actually pretty cool. I like them. You're like in the middle of nowhere sometimes, and it's like, hey, I'm here in the middle of the U.S., and this just happened, and I'm here. And I'm like, dude, that's badass.
Shit just comes to your mind, and you just fucking press like or live, right?
Yeah. And I think that's how it is with a lot of vets. You get that motivation factor where you drive, right? You feel like you just want to let everybody know what's up and how you're doing.
That's good, man.
Whether
like
you're doing good or bad, right? And
Correct.
I think that's kind of where I go live on it sometimes and just kind of express what's going on in my head.
Dude, and you're like so smooth on it. It's kind of like, hey, guys, here, this is Colt, and I'm live, and this is what's going on. It's like, man, it sort of seems like you got a prompt in front of you, and you're just like reading it.
You think
It's like
so?
smooth. That's good.
Yeah,
That's
good.
rad, man. I appreciate that. I guess I just get that whim, and I do it with my business a little bit more, I think, just because that's kind of where I'm at, the things I want to talk about. With the Veterans Battalion, it's been more of an emotional feeling thing, when I get like something like a bug on me or something cool that I want to share an experience with. So I did a live broadcast a while ago with one of my coaches for jiu-jitsu, and that was pretty cool. We were talking about warriors and kind of how to overcome PTSD through exertion of the body, and mind through jiu-jitsu. And we had talked about that for some time on our live feed, and it actually was a really, really cool live feed. If you guys ever watched just go back in time on our Veterans Battalion post, and you'll see it. Pretty cool stuff. We talk about warriors and kind of how the history of the warrior became, and how physical agility and everything kind of helps soothe the mind, and being around other people, sweating, and kind of just basically putting war on each other, with jiu-jitsu helps.
Yeah.
So yeah, we talked more about it. I can't remember everything, but
That's cool.
it was a good turnout.
Yeah, Jocko's a big fan of jiu-jitsu and PTSD. And,
He is? I don't know.
Yeah, it's
I
crazy. He
gotta-
talks a lot about it on his podcast, and I think it makes sense. I really
Nice.
think it makes sense. So we just got back from the weekend. Fucking stopped at Camp Pendleton. That was pretty badass.
Did you
Oh, how
really?
was that?
Dude, at first I didn't think they'll let me in. I'm not 100% disabled. And they have all these new rules. Like, for example, you need a sponsor to get on the base now. So that means that somebody who's actively serving would have to come in to the gate, wait for you, and take you in. Or there's a process now that you have to go through in order to do it. So I was like, fuck, man. Like, dude, I just want to go to the PX and buy some stuff. And I made a couple calls. Everybody's like, yeah, dude, it's a sponsor. That's the only way you're going to get in. So I'm like, well, you adapt and work on, you go for it, see what happens. And I pull up to the base. There's a PFC. Automatically, I put the knife hand out the minute I get there. So I walk in. I got my family with me, and I sit there and go, "Hey, Marine, listen, I forgot my VA card, but I'm just going to the PX, so I need to get in." And then he just looks at me. He goes, "Oh, you don't have your VA card?" I go, "No, I don't." He's like, "Okay, yeah, go ahead, sir." So yeah, man, it was pretty interesting to do that, and it was cool to get in there and get to see the whole changes, man. Camp Pendleton's changed so much.
Has it changed a lot? I know it was always that long drive just from the Basilon road gate, like going inside. You know how you have to drive like 5 miles an hour for like an hour or something like that.
Oh, so you always went in through Basilone, not through the main gate?
No, yeah, through Basilon. That's where I always went in. I know you can get in through Christianitos at like certain times or whatever, right? And then after Christianitos and Basilon, it goes to what's the next gate after that? I can't remember. It's where the wing is, right? Or Artie?
Well, no, then you got the main gate. So you got Christianitos, like where Las Flores is at. Yeah. And then you got before that is Basilone, where you go to SOI.
Got it. All I ever remember is Basilone. Just those drunk nights getting pulled over right outside the gate. And
no, definitely.
Just having a good time with the brothers,
No, it's good, dude. It's changed a lot. Now they got this huge PX. It's like a full mall, dude. They got everything. Like, I mean, if you thought the one on main side, the one in the back gate by the bowling alley was big enough, now it's like this is huge, man. It's like it's right in the front on the main gate. You got everything from shoes to like clothing, 511, grunt style. I mean, like suits.
511 got on base.
Yeah, dude, they got 511 on base. They got, I mean, dude, everything. It was pretty badass, dude. Even stuff for like my kids, my wife. It was like,
that's badass.
Yeah, and you don't pay taxes. That's pretty cool.
So, right. I don't know if you guys did this, but for about 3 months I was an MP. So they're like, "Hey, who wants to go over here?" I'm like, "No humps? Yeah, let's do it." So I went over there and got sprayed with OC, and they gave me a little certificate for the week so I can go and like actually stand post, right? So I was standing post and over the main side over there, and a couple MPs came in drunk as fuck, right? Like drunk as fuck, and they're like, "Hey, come here, Lance Corporal." Like, and I, you're supposed to like if you smell alcohol, tell them to pull over. I'm like, so I opened the door. Not opened the door, but they lowered their window, and I'm like, fucking reeked of fucking booze, right? I'm like, "You guys got to get over there." He goes, "I'm MP. I do what the fuck I want." I said, "Get your fucking ass over there right now." And like, dude, the motherfucker wanted to fight me. Like, I'm like, "No, man." Like, I stood my ground, but they let that motherfucker go. Like, if it was a regular Lance Corporal at base or something, or a sergeant, the guy would have been smoked.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Little fucking side tidbit.
Damn. It's crazy, man. Freaking MPs.
Fucking MPs.
Gotta love them.
Yeah.
Well, listen, man, today's episode is going to be pretty interesting. We've been getting some comments about this. So I think now that we sort of level the ground, it's about to get crazy in the war room.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So it's all about wives, significant others, girlfriends, and how they relate or how they feel that we transition through PTSD after deployment, after serving. I know for the most part, all of us here are married, right?
Yeah.
Or have been at one point, or have a significant other, or had one while in service and then deployed out. What is that transition like? And what do you guys feel it's been some of the challenges to not only have a successful marriage or successful relationship with the baby mother or whatever it is, but, for me, for example, if you ask me, I just think women don't understand this, period.
Straight up.
100%.
You got to find that piece of gold that just sticks with you through the thick and thin, no matter what. If you're going to ask me, my opinion.
By the way, I was just messing about that. I don't want to get choked later on.
I think if you're asking me and my opinion, with my lady, and I think just with all relationships, you got to kind of prioritize time. You got to make time for everything. You know what I mean? You got to make time for work. You got to make time for your relationship, and then you got to make time for yourself as an individual. So being in a relationship with somebody else, they have to have their own individualism. You can't just always be doing just stuff with each other. You got to have your own separate lives.
So aside of the time and the balance and, what you're speaking about, what would you say if your wife was here right now, Cole? What would be the 5 top things that she would say that bugs her about you?
Oh, Jesus, man.
I'll tell you one thing. His mind is always going.
Yeah, my mind's always going.
She can't stand that
I'm
shit.
pretty crazy. I think the go with me. She, I just and the indecisiveness. I'm a little indecisive on things. I need constant feedback. Even though I know the answer in my head, I need constant feedback. And I think that's the military guy in me, that I can make a decision. I just want to be so sure on my decision that everyone around me kind of believes the same thing. And if they don't, I want to know the reasoning why. So with her, it's more like the go, go, go. You'll get up early, to go to bed late. She's a little bit slower than I am with that all. She's kind of take it day by day, and I'm like, go, go, go. I'm missing an hour here. Oh, what's gonna happen? You know, like.
But I think the urgency falls with anybody in the Marine Corps. I mean, I don't think I have met any other branch of service that are as urgency driven like we are. Like I'm the same way, man. Like if we got to be somewhere at 9, we got to be up like by, dude, I'm like 7 a.m. already, and we got to be out the door like at least an hour ahead of time because I'm like,
Absolutely,
dude, there could be
15
traffic.
minutes prior to 15
Exactly,
minutes prior.
man. I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, and I'm like irritated. And I know that upsets my wife where I'm like, let's go. Like, why isn't this ready? Why wasn't that done the night before? Or, you know,
I do the same crap.
You know
yeah.
what?
And I think, and someone told me this one time. They just said, "Hey, you can't treat your wife or your kids like you did when you were treated in boot camp. You know, you can't do it.
Yeah.
It's completely separate. You got to kind of take a step back and realize that they aren't your troops." And my wife says that to me a lot. You know, she'll say, "Hey, you know, we're not your troops. You know, we're,
I have
you know,
my wife tell you that. She's
Yeah,
like,
you
well, I'm not a
do.
fucking Marine.
yeah.
I'm like,
We're not you're the troops that you used to yell at. You know, it's like, okay, cool, I get it. You know, but it really does take a special woman to love a veteran. It really does. Man.
It does, man.
I mean,
have to
they
agree.
really got to put up with a lot of
Hey
shit.
man, we're not easy.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah,
No,
we're not.
100%. I think that, you know, for example, I'm speaking on my behalf here. I feel that some other times I just want to be alone. I mean, I just literally, I get home and might have been a stressful day. You try to turn off that button and I just want to be alone. Like, just don't talk to me for those 5-10 minutes. And in those 5-10 minutes, it could be like one small thing that could just irritate me. And it could have been like something so simple as like, you know, how was your day or something like that. And I don't know if you guys go through this, but it just bugs me. It's like, I mean, if I'm quiet, don't ask me. Like that means I just had a bad day. I'm trying to like get rid of it. And I think that sometimes we don't acknowledge that, you know, if you guys have ever stayed home just with your kids for a whole day
It's fucking
and
hard,
dealt with
man.
that,
It's
I mean,
so hard.
it's a lot of fucking work.
Yeah.
I mean, I had my wife leave for 2 weeks once, and I was like, "Fuck, dude!" By the third day, I was like, "Yo, I'm about to pay top dollar to have somebody just stay here every day." So, I mean, I understand that they might have that same issue that we experience, but yet they come home and they still cook and they're still loving and they still want to take the time to ask you how your day was. But yet we're fucking selfish when we come in, and I'm like, "Fuck, like don't talk to me." Like I'm in fucking my own timeout type thing right now. Like.
How many years you been married?
Been married now. Oh shit. Hopefully she doesn't kill me.
Man, that was a bad question to ask you, huh?
Right on the
off the
podcast.
mic or
Dun,
something.
Dude, it's definitely more than 10 years.
Yeah.
Definitely more. We got together in 2008. Yeah, 2018.
So
yeah.
she was with you in the heart of all this.
Oh yeah,
when
man.
you
My
were-
wife was with me when I was dead broke. Well, actually, she met me when I was at the peak of success, of touching success, and like literally touched it. And like she was literally about to touch it with me when everything just fucking cracked down. And she fucking still stayed with me. And I'll tell you this, like I have to give her a lot of credit because she took a big leap of faith with me. At any time, any woman at that point could have said, "Fuck that. I still have my life. I can, you know, make a decision and go my own way." But she decided to stick with me. Something about me. And I know I got these fucking handsome looks and shit, but it had to been more than that because, you know, she stood there and she fucking rolled through the punches. And it hasn't been easy at all. And I think marriage itself, it's not easy. You know, what do they say? It's the 5 year or something like the 4 year or the 5 year where you really fucking, that's where you really like find out.
Well, they say like the Killer 7 or something.
Yeah, something like that. Killer 6. I don't know.
I always say 5 years.
Dude, 5 years
is
was
always-
tough. And that's why I'm saying like
Yeah, you got to
5
see
year.
those season changes. You really
5
do.
year was really tough. And a lot of it, I think it's the way we communicate. And this is something that it's not new. It's not written in, you know, in some new book where you're like, oh, wow, you know, the big mystery, just communication. It's not. I just think that as vets, we feel nobody's going to understand us. And because nobody's going to understand us, we try to hold a lot of it in.
Sure.
Yeah, and I think that was the issue that we fought so much for because I had these crazy ass goals and dreams that I wanted to do, but I sort of kept her on the shadow about it. It was just like, don't fucking ask questions, just follow me. And you got to trust me. And if you fight against that, that means you don't trust me, you're not willing to fight with me. And then obviously that doesn't create a good relationship because it's kind of like, hey, I want to be involved. I want to know. Like, I remember when I first told her what my business expenses was, dude, she almost fucking flipped off the chair. And she's like, oh my God, like, start freaking out.
So
Like,
do you think that you kind of, you know how like the NCO to Lance Corporal or to a sergeant to Lance Corporal, were you kind of like, hey, look, I'm the sergeant of this fucking shit. You know, I'm going to do my own thing. You just follow me. Were you just kind of being like that because of the military? Or
no,
were you
I
just being
think
a
it was
dick?
more, I didn't want to hurt them.
Okay.
And I felt that if I failed and they didn't know about it, it wouldn't hurt them. Like the last thing I wanted to do is fail, have them find out, and then worry, and then think, "Fuck, how are we gonna get up now?" And have my kids worry about it. And so my train of thought was, you know what? Let me go out there. I'm gonna fucking do all this. I'm a big risk taker, this and that. If it fucking doesn't work, it didn't work, but I'm the only one that knows about it. I will figure it out. And that's the biggest problem in a relationship that you fucking that I does not fucking work.
It's we.
It's we.
The Semper
It's
I
two
right there,
people,
yeah.
even all the way down to your kids, man. It makes a big difference. And I learned that the hard way because there was a point, man, where it got really bad. And I was like, dude, maybe we're just like, nah, we just got to go our way. And I told him, we fought so hard. I mean, I think, and it was around that one time, that 5-year mark. And finally, I realized, and I think I heard Elena Cardone talk about this and at 10X Growth Con. And she said, you know, you cannot tame an entrepreneur. You cannot tame a fucking lion. You cannot tame somebody that has that much drive. You got to learn to fight against them. But in order for you to fight against him, he has to be willing to share, bleed, fight, and put that all with you, and you both go fucking at it. And that's when I realized, fuck, well, I've been fucking up. What I thought it was her, it's really me. I'm the one that's creating the hostility. I'm the one that's creating this obstacle and not letting her dream and visualize and go along this fight with me. And I feel that ever since I made that change, there's been a huge difference. Now it's like, hey, I want to do this. She's like, well,
Think about it from her point too. Is, you know, she's home with the kids all day. Those are her goals. But if you know, it kind of gets, you know, you're at home all day, and you know you don't have much to really look forward to. Besides, you know, obviously kids are great and all, but she kind of loses her goals and her, you know, her person, you know, who she is. So if she kind of joins you on your ride, like it's like, hey, babe, we did this together.
Yeah.
You know, and it gives her fucking purpose. You know.
no, definitely.
I think women and men are both completely different in the solidification part of it. Like, and what I mean by that is, like Adam pointed a good. We had talked about some relationship stuff, and I like share that about a week or two ago, and he was saying, you know, and I was like, man, you know, dang, stuff's tough. You know, we've been having our ups and downs like we always have, but you know, how do you do it? He was like, you know what? You always got to make her feel like she's number one, right? You always got to make
100%.
sure everything you're doing is for her, which it is, right? But you got to really make her feel it. You got to like sit down with her, and you got to sit there and you got to tell her, right? Because we talk about getting at home sometimes real late, you know, and we're real tired, or you know, you pass out on the couch, and you know, you get up at 5, 6 in the morning or whatever you get up at.
Yeah, it's
and
hard, man.
It's hard, man, you know, and then you're trying to balance out the relationship side, because how many of us have a wife that wants to talk to us when we get home?
Oh, yeah.
All the time, right?
They
Right.
just
So
want
you
to
gotta
be
put that
heard,
time in.
dude. They want to also tell you their
She won't
stories.
Shut up sometimes, you know. And I'm like, hey.
Yeah. And she's like, I just want to tell you what's going on now. What happened? And you know, it's always the same thing, you know, but we got to listen, right?
No,
We
because
gotta make it right.
The hardest part for me is like, you know, I'm here like handling like people's issues with, you know, their home or whatever serious business matter, and it's like I'm getting like blown up. I'm like, oh man, something must have happened to the kids. Step away. Hey, what's going on?
Need milk.
Well, when you get home, before you get home today, can you pick up some lemons and then let's see what you want for dinner? I'm like, you fucking kidding me? Like, really? But I would say from a military standpoint, for me, I've been married almost 8 years now, and you know, the one thing the Marine Corps did was I always do this for everything, but expect the worst, hope for the best,
Yeah.
and that's kind of been my mentality. It's actually fucked up previous relationships when I expect the worst of everything, you know, and you know, you come out of the Marine Corps younger, like. At the time I was like 24, 25, and you know, I'm always expecting the worst of everything, you know.
Me
like,
too.
Oh shit, she's gonna go over there. Oh, there's probably some motherfucker gonna talk to her. let me fucking kick his ass. And I didn't even know, like, she's just going to get a drink. And some dude says, oh, excuse, you can go first. And here I am, want to fucking rip this guy's head off. But
Oh man,
you know,
typical Marine.
that's the typical Marine shit, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, they train you to be like that so you can handle the bullshit that you have to put up with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, you know, it's just there's definitely a disconnect between the way we are and the way our wives are. You know, and it's just one of those things where, yeah, you know, for me personally, I have a hard time with like, you know, shit not being in its right place, right? Like I was a whiskey locker recruit. I want to know where shit's at.
Oh shit.
You know what I mean? So it'd be like 2 a.m. Like my baby wakes up and you know she's got an ear infection or she's coughing and we need medicine. And I'd be like, all right, I want to know exactly where that fucking medicine is at fucking 02, and it's not there. I'm like, the one thing I say, I'm like, hey, where's the medicine at? She's like, oh, I don't know. I think we need more. I'm like, it's just fucking war. You'd be dead. You'd be fucking dead right now.
Yeah.
You know, and it fucking
you
2
ran
in
out
the
of milk?
morning.
Funny
Oh.
man.
Good.
I use the same. Oh man.
And then she's
Drop it,
like,
give me
this
push-ups.
is not war. And then, yeah, stop being a Marine dad. Like, I'm like, hey, well, he needs to unfuck himself. Like, sorry, you know, but I guess I try to like chill it down and you know, be more reasonable and be more of a civilian like, but
I think
it's
certain
hard.
things like that, it's never gonna change. Dude. Like I'm the same way, bro. Like if there's milk, if we're missing milk, I don't need to know when it's missing. Like it's
I don't
gone.
wanna
You should
get
know
it.
prior to.
Dude, like
Don't
if,
tell me when it runs out. Tell
Yeah.
me the day
Dude,
before.
right when it
Last
fucking
bottle?
runs out,
God,
man.
everything.
So I write on their last bottle now. Last bottle of milk.
Yeah.
Don't call me when I get home at 9 after I'm dead. Tired.
Dude,
Oh, we're
it's-
out of milk. Can you go to the store? Of course, yeah, I'll go to the store for my kid, right? I love my kid. But why'd you have to tell me at 9 at night?
Yeah.
You couldn't have told me before. You could have told me the night before.
Or when it was halfway,
Right.
like,
You're
hey,
like-
milk is halfway when you get a chance.
Probably gonna
Like-
need this soon.
Oh, hey, by the way, I was gonna make breakfast, but there's no more eggs.
Fucking eggs.
And I'm like,
right?
Dude,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my god.
You guys take your wives out one night a week? You guys
I do.
that?
I try to. I try to. Well, we don't have a babysitter.
I'm working on that, but
Yeah, we don't have a babysitter. So what I usually do is, if we get lucky and get one, I'll take her out. Or Friday is usually like our thing. She'll get glammed up, and you know I get home and I have the kids like get all nice too, and then we'll cook and have them be like the waiter and the waitress, and they like to like play along.
Hey, I saw your videos too. It's cool. You guys, you put like a disco lights out. and
Oh
you
yeah,
make a dance
we'll have
floor.
a party like a club thing, and so like, the kids get involved. They're dancing, me and her are drinking, and it works, man. I'm telling you, like small things like that,
That's
bro.
pretty cool.
You know what I feel? My thing is that sometimes, you know, and I think it's just again us being selfish is we feel that you know sometimes we're not appreciated. You know, I feel like, oh man, I did all this. I'm out there hustling and working, and I get home and I don't feel appreciated. But sometimes, dude, for the most part, I think it the other way around, man. I don't think that we value the again, like we said, the amount of work that it takes for what our wives, our significant others have to do to take care of the kids, take them to school, do the laundry, do this and that. And if they work, man, they got to work and they come back and they do that. I mean, it's like you're never going to hear them complain about that. You know, that's the other thing. And so I try to do as much as I can to sort of level that and show her that I do appreciate, even if it's something small. Like, I mean, we just left to Legoland last week. And that was pretty cool. And I decided to just book another hotel another day and just make it just straight relax and just us and, you know, the kids. And you know, I enjoy it.
That's
You know,
cool.
I enjoy it. So yeah, you know, I think that you going that extra step and doing small things like that definitely go a long way.
Definitely.
Definitely go a long
100%
way.
agree. And yeah, just going back to it does take a special person to put up with a veteran. It really does.
Oh
So
yeah,
I think
man.
we've kind of-
Hands down, dude. I mean, I ran into so many people that dated
give
military
up.
and they'd be like, fuck, dude, that was the worst experience or this and that.
Just-
And I'll ask, so what do you think was, you know, the problem? It's like, oh, he was insecure, he was a fucking dick, he was this and that. He like always had that military mentality and thought that I was another fucking Marine and this. And I'm like, fuck, dude, that's like,
Just remember, it's never that bad. I think we've touched on this before, but not only that it's never that bad, it can always get better. But 99% of the things you worry about, and we're talking about worrying all the time.
Yeah.
Right? How many times have you thought about, let's just say out of 10 things that you've worried so much about, and you're so stressed to maybe take that phone call or go do that one project. You're like, oh my gosh, like this has got to be bad, you know? And then how bad really was it? I mean,
Not
maybe
bad, yeah.
yeah.
less than one, maybe once,
Yeah.
right? So
At the end
so
of the day, the outcome is gonna
and
happen.
I think the same thing too. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, what's the worst that can happen? I think of the worst thing, and then when I think about it, I'm like, okay, the worst thing is here, and I'm here all the way to the left, so that's a real far way to go. And then I make that phone call and I talk to that person, then it's like nothing. It's like,
Yeah.
it could be like your wife, hey, call me, it's urgent, and then you're like, oh my god, what's going on? Oh, it's the kid, and you call her and she's like, hey, can you get some milk? Or, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
little things like that, right?
Well, if you think about it, right? Remember,
Or-
like even in basic training, right? Boot
Yeah.
camp. I remember when they put out, you kind of find out what the schedule is going to be like for 12 weeks, and towards you're like, oh shit, we got to do this and this. This is going to be fucking hard. How am I going to do this? Like, and then you do it, and it was like, all right, that was it. Like, okay, like we can do this shit, right?
Oh, the crucible's coming up, right? And then you're done with the crucible, and you're like, wait, what happened?
Dude, and then
Yeah.
there's times, like, oh my God, everyone's like, hey, we're preparing for this fucking hump. This hump's going to be 30 miles, and it's going to be crazy. People are going to be falling out, and you're
Before
like,
you know it,
oh
you're
my-
15
oh my
miles in,
God.
you're like, wow, it's only 15 miles.
Then you do it. It hurts still, but you do it, right? And you're like, okay, cool. It wasn't that. It was bad, but it wasn't like I expected. So sometimes your mind really fucks with you, and then you bring that into a relationship, right? Whether it doesn't matter what you guys. It just you could be going to the fucking movies, right? We're gonna be late to the movies. Oh my God! And then fucking shit's fucking everything just gets fucked, But it's just one of the most, I guess, to go back is I was telling Cole is when he called me, he's just like how having some things with his lady and stuff, and what we spoke about was something that I learned from a very, very successful entrepreneur, and that was going back to being the best spouse that you can be, making it your number one mission to be all about that person, to
Yeah.
give, right? When you give more, even in business and your relationship, everything gets better. Like give more than you receive.
Yeah.
Right. And
100% agree.
if you fucking give that person everything that you got and create it like a job, like not a job, but like how you're gonna do it with your job or your business or your relationship, just give. It comes back, dude. It really
No,
does.
100%.
Oh, another thing too is one thing I always learned was, you want to drop an anchor and you want to have a propeller. So you never want to have someone who's pulling you down. Look, not all relationships work out. If it's not going to work out, you fucking move on.
Correct.
But if that person is great, supports you, wants to see you grow, and you guys want to grow together, and you want to fucking fight for her every day, go for it. Or fight for him
And
every
I
day,
think
too.
that's a great point you brought up, because a lot of the times we fail to see that value there. Sometimes we just think that the grass is greener on the other side because of some bullshit that as a man we have,
Yeah.
and us being selfish, they feel, oh yeah, I'm just gonna go do that. And then you realize, fuck, I let go of something that was fucking amazing, something
Mhm.
that would hold me down, something that not hold you down in a bad way, but hold you down in a way that, dude, would fucking go to war for you.
Yeah.
And I've seen many people do that and then come back and realize, fuck, I fucked up.
Yeah.
But you know what? I think the psychology of it also plays a big part, because, for example, I read in a book that talked about how what we saw as growing up, what we saw our parents conduct themselves as relationship is sort of what we want
The next
to
generation.
mimic. And I saw that because my dad was very cold with my mom. My dad was very kind of like, would get in from work and kind of, that's it, turn on his TV
He
and
was
kind of
old school Hispanic.
old
right?
school
Yeah.
Hispanic, sort of like,
Yeah.
that I just
My dad
got here
too,
from
yeah.
work and, hey, kids, how's it going? The one day out of the week he would take us out, dude. And that was for us like, wow, like the big thing as a family. And they would always fight. And I remember that. And it may be something like going to like Norms. That was the biggest thing. We go to Norms to
Norms,
eat,
yeah.
dude. And it'd be like, wow, or we go to the park and, oh my God, we went to the park. But I would take those small things and apply them. And I caught myself applying a lot of the things that I also saw him, because I didn't have that figure to guide me and say, hey, in a marriage,
Mhm.
this is what you do. It was basically just trial and error, man. It was like,
Yeah.
dude, there you go. You're married now. You have kids. Go out there and basically now you got to do what you got to do.
At the end of the day, nobody fucking teaches you.
Dude, they don't. And my dad was fucking ruthless. My dad, I mean, from what I heard from my mom, that even while I was born, he would bring girls to the house and have my mom cook for them.
Wow.
And I was like, fuck, dude. So
You got me beat.
dude, in a way, I sort of kind of like saw all that growing up and sort of had a hate and I don't know, mixed emotions of relationships. And also because growing up, dude, most of the girls I dated were cheated on me. So then that was the other thing. So I had all this kind of thing that, you know,
Preconceived notions about how it's supposed to be.
yeah, and then you add the Marine Corps on top of that, and then it's like, fuck that. This is the way it should be. Because if you're not this way, if you're not a man enough, if you're not doing this the way that you know you're looking based on your experiences, shit's gonna fall out.
Wow.
And then that's when you're like, oh shit, that's not the way it should
It's
be.
not supposed to
You
work.
guys, well, not you guys, but what I want to say for a lot of guys out there is something that I've tried is if you ever get to the point in your relationship that you feel like it's just not worth it anymore, write down a pros and cons list. Literally, like just take a piece of paper, draw it down the middle, do like a little T-chart, and write pros and cons about that person. Right?
Did you just say T-shirt?
T chart chart.
Sorry.
You got me. But
All right.
I'm not saying like just to try to compare your spouse or significant other to see if you want to be with them anymore. But if you do that pros and cons list and the pros outweigh the cons tremendously, or maybe you only got one or two cons, you might want to rethink your game plan a little bit. You know what I mean?
Especially when there's kids involved.
Especially when there's kids involved.
Yeah.
If there's kids involved, not only should you try, you should go to marriage counseling. You should really take it up.
100%.
Because I tried that at one time and actually sat in front of a psychiatrist. And there were some things that they actually pointed out that made me rethink the way I was thinking about things, you know, and it really did help. It really did help.
You know, and a
because
lot of the
sometimes
times I know a lot of veterans that have gone that route. It's us, man. 100%. It's us. It's I had a buddy of mine, Marine Corps guy, and he would always tell me this stuff about his wife. And I was like, fuck, dude, like, yeah, you should get rid of her. And then they went to therapy and I meet him for drinks and he's all like, bro, and he shows me this list. The psychiatrist made him do a similar list, but it was evaluating himself. And then it turned out that that list was a lot bigger than what he expected on shit that he now realizes that, fuck, dude, I wasn't doing right. And then on her list, it was all about how she cared about him and the kids. It was nothing about her at all. Like, it was just like a full sacrifice that she was willing to do and has done for him, while his was the complete opposite. And that was a huge wake up call, dude. And I think that that's the one thing we got to do as vets sometimes is like kind of dig in first and analyze that and be like, okay, what can
Analyze
we
yourself.
do? It's like leadership, man. You know, a lot of people, you know, you're leading a company, you got a business that you're running. You can't sit there and blame your employees all the time for shit that goes wrong. You got to like debrief it, go all the way back and analyze from the top down. How could I had avoided that? How could I had done a better job? And how could I had kept that employee in a better position to succeed?
Absolutely.
It's the same thing with marriage. You look at marriage, you got to go back and be like, start with you. Okay, what am I doing? Like there's a book, dude, which book is it? That talks about the law of attraction. And it says about everybody wants this type of girl and names like the beautiful, everything, the dime piece and all that. And it says, well, great, put that aside. Now describe yourself. And you will realize that you're nothing close to that. And yet
More
you
like
want to dime.
More like a nickel.
Exactly, dude. So it's
Yeah.
like, how are you going to sit there and inspire to want something that's this way, but yet you're all fucked up and
Yeah.
you're nowhere there? Would that person even look at you? How about let's start there? You know? And then, dude, it makes you realize, like, shit, dude, it's a lot of shit that
Oh yeah.
we need to adjust.
Most definitely. Most definitely. You know, I just think that going back to the military at least is relationships, man. Anything that you want to do is fucking takes work. And getting away from the chain of command to, you're not, fuck the whole like, hey, I'm the platoon sergeant of this family, so I'm gonna fucking run it like a fucking platoon. No, man, it's almost like you have to reprogram yourself to not be like that in a way. Yeah, you are the leader. For me, I'm the breadwinner. I'm the leader. If I don't work, then nobody eats. And that's the hardest part for me is I'm out working so much. I start at 5:30. I got a schedule. I'm go all the freaking time. So, so the little time that I do have, I have to throw my cell phone, put it aside,
Yeah.
and and two, really dedicate my life and my time to my wife and my kids, every day when I get home. And I have to say fuck everything else, really, what it comes down to. It's hard because you're like, oh my God, I have this much going, this is going on, you have so much going on in your mind. And it's so hard for me. What my problem is, like, you know, I'm playing with my kids and I'm thinking about work, or I'm thinking about all the things that I have to do, or thinking about, man, I want to be somewhere else. I want to give them even better than this, you know, like, because I don't ever want them to feel like the shit that I've ever had to feel. You
Yeah.
know? Going back to 2008 with fucking negative 300 in my account, you know, things like that. You know, there's nothing I would never want them ever to feel that way ever again.
No, definitely.
So, but at the same time, I want my kids to feel what it's like to have to fucking work, you know, or feel like, you know, because when you feel like you've never had water before, you'll appreciate water, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I have water next to me, but I know what it's like. I've been places where I didn't have any water, you know. Been fucking Iraq when they didn't even have enough food for us at one point, you know. So I appreciate food. I appreciate hot food. Like, sometimes you have to like experience things, but I don't want my kids to experience them, but I do, you know. So it's kind of a hard thing.
No,
So
definitely.
I'm going
man.
off track, but yeah.
No, it all falls into the same thing. Family, man. Family's important. You do what you do for them. That's the value, the cost that you're putting out there. I mean, you don't wake up and go through the many sacrifices that you go through just because, you know, fuck, you want to.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, you have a purpose now. There's a meaning.
In closing, for myself, I just wanted to point out one factor. Take your spouse and put them on a little pedestal for a second. And this is something I was told by my grandma, actually. And she said, put her on that little pedestal and look at her and think about it really hard. Can you live without her? And if you have to hesitate or you have to think about it twice, then get rid of her as fast as you can, right? And if you can't, then keep her and work for her as hard as you can and do everything you can possibly to make her happy, no matter what that is, right? Because you're the leader, you know, and leaders sometimes fail, but leaders never give up.
True. 100% with that, man. So yeah, with that said, man, fuck, keep trucking. I guess put some of your priorities up there first.
One thing too is comment on this podcast. We want to hear your stories in regards to relationships. You know, it'd be kind of cool to hear about whatever, you know, other guys are going through,
What's
other
working,
gals are
what's
going
not.
through. What our brothers and sisters are going through every day, because
Yeah,
every day is a fucking fight, no
definitely.
matter what. And when you have people, we fucking stick together. We're a fucking battalion. That's what we do.
And all we ask for you guys is a homework assignment, is just to tell one person about this, tell one good friend about this, another vet, you know, someone that might be able to utilize this, someone that's, you know, relates to this subject matter, and let us know your comments and share it.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
And by all means, guys, we're not fucking therapists. I don't want to fucking out there
As you
thinking.
can tell, we're just talking out of
You
our
know,
Call 911.
So don't, you know, it's just simple experience, life experience that I think we have dealt. And I don't think it's perfect. As you all could have just heard, we all kind of working on getting something better out of it. But yeah, comment, let us know what you think. And overall, stay on the fucking mission.
Hurrah.
Pick up that pack and keep going.
Thanks for listening and serving. Please take the time to leave a review on iTunes to get this podcast heard. Veterans Battalion.